Hi, Abbey. Jenna Pinkstone, the Southern Oracle, signing on and syncing up with you today for your Oracle card pull, an offering exclusive on Patreon only. I am so excited to finally be doing this for you. I knew there was a reason. I knew there was a divine timing aspect to why this had not happened yet. It began the befuddlement when, for some reason, I just felt called to do your oracle card. I tried to do your oracle card pull like 3 times, and something would happen every single time that wouldn't allow me to continue and proceed. And I would have human moments of feeling defeated and frustrated, just like we all do when something we are channeling our intention towards is not panning out. It's like fitting a square peg into a round hole. But after I decided to take the approach to receive this as an opportunity to accept the divine timing aspect, new and exciting awakenings began to occur. And now, here on the summer solstice, I find myself called to do your oracle card pull. It's the summer solstice is a divine and sacred time for this earth every single year. It it marks the sign of growth, of regrowth, of regeneration, of plentiful thriving in all that we have, all of the seeds that we've sowed throughout the season. And it's a time for harvest of all that we have sowed. It's a time of celebration that of all of the hard work we've put towards something of worth, of importance to our human aspect here on earth. It's a time of gathering it all back, gathering all of that energy back towards you, the individual, the unit of community, perhaps. I mean, the summer solstice has been celebrated in cultures all over this globe for millennia. And there's a reason for that. There's an acknowledgement of all that we've put forth and all that we are about to receive because of everything that we have invested. So without further ado, I'm going to begin as an extension of your oracle reading that was done, and the concept, the key word of ritual that was so prevalent in the beginning of that reading, and how ritual, it is this sacred practice of channeling energy towards that which we are, that which we have intention for, that which we have the notion that this is what I put my divine self into. And there's a routine to it also, right? There's a routine of doing the same act over and over throughout time, that, like the ripples in a lake, grow larger and larger and more powerful with the passage of time. And it's also marking, if I might say, a really interesting aspect between free will and fate that was prevalent in one of the recent videos that can be found on YouTube that I just recently did. It syncs up, it links up in a lattice work of all that human beings throughout civilizations, throughout time, have been forced to engage in different rituals for different reasons, be them religious or hygienic, or kind of like a merging of the two. There's different rituals that we are forced, that are forced upon us. And then there are rituals that we realize in that, this is my choice, that I choose to channel my energy towards. So with that in mind, I have brought out an old smudge stick. I haven't used one of these in years, but it will be used to begin your oracle card pull, Abby. And through this ritual, I find myself compelled to sit with the energies that are present around us, to engage and absorb all they have to offer, and to respectfully decline any that does not sync or resonate. So mote it be, and so it is. That being said, another of the keyword concepts that was very prevalent in your oracle reading, Abbey, was the notion of terra, or land, or substance of a world, the composition of soil, which undoubtedly differs from one scape to another, even just here on this earth. Of course it differs from one planet to another. But there is a continuum of realness, of truth, and of reality that is imbued within the terra of any land, with every other terra of every other land. And this was connoted and symbolic through the hagstone that showed up and had a lot to say during your reading. So because terra is such an important aspect, such a prominent key word that of focus in your oracle reading, we will be using the Earth Power Oracle, which actually takes the energies from many different locations here on Earth, and it shares them with us in a way that is palatable and easily understood, and also it is applicable in a way that marks the soil on the ground we currently inhabit as sacred and as part of our own, as one in which we are intricately connected to. It brings back an awareness of being one with Mother Earth, as being there being no separation between humanity and the earth that in which we all live. The Statue of Liberty is the first that comes out for you. This is interesting because this is a statue, and it's like we were talking about the earth. What's going on here? Why is a man-made structure showing up to give us messages? Let's see what more it has to tell. I am free to be who I really am. I think this is a common theme of a lot of the work you've been doing, Abbey, and that we must be fearless to be our authentic selves. It also feeds into the message from your oracle reading in that there is a truth to be had within all of us. There is something of worth there we are all trying to seek, and we're all trying to deeply understand. And that notion of engaging in the ritual because we're forced to versus because it is what we consent and choose to be a part of. We choose to merge our free will energy in with those sinking pulses of frequency that are already present to be had in this world. I have a right to my own happiness and sanctuary, and here it is. I am free to be authentic. I am free to do this, and I'm actually going to be pulling a lot of information from the recent webinar that you did on your own Patreon site. in that the discomfort and the dislike that we have with being who we truly are, it's something that we need to sit with. It's a discord that we need to sync with so as to smooth out that energy. Because if we don't sync with it, if we don't actually intertwine ourselves with that, and we leave this world and escape from that discomfort, from that frustration, if we simply check out from it, there's not going to be much that either A, we learn from it, or B, that we can change about it. What that does is it engages in the ritual. It does. It engages in the ritual of saying we are not our own infinite creator of our own infinite universe that is present innately within us all. It says this is separate from me, and I choose to separate from it, and I choose to not envelop it or transmute it in any way, shape, or form, because I am powerless, because I have nothing to offer this horrible situation. Wow. It is, this Statue of Liberty card is reclaiming our right to authenticity. And that may be, I do not like this. It may be, this is not enjoyable to me. It may be, I'm frustrated and angry, and this is not how I envisioned it turning out. But the act of saying that, the ritual of engaging in that authenticity, is one that syncs us up with the discord and the imbalance of energies that are existing around us and permeating through us, so that we, as the infinite creator, as the divine architect that we are, and that we are absolutely here to embody while in this incarnate life on earth, we are able to transmute it. And it might not turn out in the way that we envision the creation to be. However, it will certainly change from that which is being expressed in this moment of discord, discomfort, and imbalance. By checking ourselves out and removing ourselves from that disarray, we are removing our power from ourselves. Because there is no difference. There is no discord. That is all an illusion between us, we, ourselves as I am, and that which does not resonate. When we actually, either physically or etherically, remove ourselves emotionally, when we remove ourselves from these planes of existence with how we interface with this difficulty, we are shackling ourselves. We are imprisoning ourselves. We have no more liberty. We have no more freedom. That is, we are removing that from our own life when we choose to remove ourselves from that within our own life. Wow. I did not expect all of that to come through when we drew the Statue of Liberty. I'll be honest that this took me off guard. Loved it though. Absolutely loved it. I'm really feeling this mystical wisdom card deck for you, Abbey. This deck holds a lot of epiphanies for us all. It is kind of one of those igniting eureka moments of being able to see in an image that is beholden to us something about our lives that we've been blind to, something that we've been not blind willfully, but it's just not been illuminated for this. Something about this mystical wisdom card deck is very illuminating, and it provides for me these aha moments, these epiphanies. What is it? What is it that it has to share with Abbey today? There it is. Wow. That's beautiful. Dreams. Believing in our dreams. It's interesting because I've been having a lot of strange dreams lately. I think there's like multiple planets in retrograde right now, which means that the energies have shifted into kind of an opposite and strange and confusing way than they typically are. Okay, it's almost like things are going backwards right now with respect to this, with respect to that, with respect to love, or with respect to finances, whatever these, human, these human objectives that we all hold and have and bear a different relationship to. And something about that unfolds to us in our dreams. And this word dreams is a very loaded word, is it not? And it means a full spectrum of different things within our English language. And it can mean the visions and the experiences that we have while sleeping. It can mean the imaginings and the thought patterns that we hold while daydreaming. It can actually mean something more obscure and conceptual, like what is it that is in your dreams? What do you dream to be when you grow up? What is it that you envision for yourself? Somehow, some way, all of these kind of bear a resemblance to one of those overhead projectors that we had as children in our classrooms. And what transparency of information is going to be revealed on the projector, on the wall, for this room of people to all gaze upon simultaneously. What is it that will be projected in your dreams? What does that mean differently for every different person that experiences this simultaneously? There is vast record of people dreaming the same dream on the same night and having something come of that. And somehow, some way, by fate, by destiny, these people that dreamed the same thing, they actually have contact with one another. They have access to each other, even more so now because of social media, because of this world we live in, where the interconnections are all manifested in a more human aspect of our everyday interactions with one another. These dreams can be exponentially reflected for a multitude of people at any given time. And this is the projector that I'm seeing on the classroom wall. It's no longer just a piece of paper that we can hold up and experience for ourselves. such as a handout, right? I remember being a child and for the first time ever seeing something put upon a projector in a classroom and a machine switching on. And all of a sudden, this piece of paper has become visible to us all. And what does that mean? How does that change what that dream means when so many more aspects, so many more individual soul signatures are able to behold what this piece of paper has to share? What does that mean? And the answer is we don't know. We have no idea what it means because we still need to define and keep the channels open of access between every individual human being within that room. Simply because we are all able to absorb the information, it has no bearing on what it is we do with it individually, unless there is some form or fashion of interconnecting it, interlocking it together. And we have done this, right? We've done this throughout history. Great things have been done by way of interconnecting in a lattice of consciousness between different individuals beholding the same information. Wonderful things have been done. The civil rights movement, any kind of revolution that ever occurred. But even as I say this word revolution, horrible atrocities have been committed in the same exact channel that has been irrigated for all of us to discover through one simple dream, one projection from one transparency cast upon a wall. Very powerful cards, Abbey. I think that we need to pull one more. I think that it needs to be kind of an encompassing, a reconciling even, if you will. And the way that I find best to do that is through the tarot. The tarot provides there are so many subtleties that are defined more closely from the tarot. The oracle cards, they're so beautiful in their sweeping motion like a paintbrush across our soul. But sometimes as humans, we yearn for a bit more specificity, a bit more isolation of detail, do we not? So we will be pulling one more card for you from the Gilded Tarot deck, and which is comprised, as you probably know, of the minor arcana and the major arcana. And I'm interested to see how we're going to reconcile this Statue of Liberty and this Dreams card. And the card came out immediately. And what do we have but the Three of Cups? These are the muses. These are the sirens. I believe these three women, they've been depicted even in Norse mythology. I'm trying to remember, or at least pagan and Roman mythology. I'm trying to remember the three women and their importance. I will do some more research on this and send it to you in the email when I send this oracle card pull to you. But this Three of Cups is divine. It is, there's something incredible here that is being shared with us. And I will say that throughout your oracle reading, Abbey, there was a sense of air. There was a sense of space, of otherworldly, and not just otherworldly, but joining the world of all the others, all the other worlds that are out there in the cosmos, out there in the universe to be explored by us. You are actually acting as an ambassador tether between all of those worlds and our own, because here in our own world, we have forgotten that we are also all of the other worlds simultaneously. And the hagstone the Odin stone was there to show the visual representation of how water weaves itself through the rock as the portal from this world into the other. And I'm getting this here. It's like a dance. It's like a dance within the sky that actually weaves between the cosmos of out there that so many of us that want to check out, and renounce that liberty that we ourselves have innately without anyone giving it to us. We just have it. But it's our own willful choice to check out and to not give ourselves access to all the power that we are born with, and to have silly thoughts that we're supposed to be comfortable and happy all the time, and to not realize that those discomforts and those pains that we experience along the way are there for a divine purpose, and we are meant to sit with them. We're meant to sit and experience them and reflect upon them. And we're meant to share them in our dreams with ourselves and with others. Whether it's a piece of paper we're holding before our eyes that we are composing as we share it with ourselves. We are the composers, and we are those that sit and absorb the symphony that we ourselves are playing. And the dreaming is a way of acquiescing those two processes of weaving and being warm within the blanket at once. And these, the cups, this Three of Cups card speaks of abundance. It speaks of so much that this world has to offer us if we merely understand these simple laws of existence, of consciousness, these laws that will apply and do apply. And we've forgotten how to make that work well for all of us. It's turned into a chore, and it was never meant to be a chore. It was always meant to be a blessing. The abundance is there to be had. We need simply reach out and take it. And look at their hands. Can you see their hands? They are actually holding whole galaxies within the palms of their hands. And on the other hand, they each possess ribbons for weaving together amongst each other, and weaving around that which they are creating. It's beautiful. It makes me want to look more into this Three of Cups card. I think that there's something special there with water, because the water is very present in this card. It's almost like all that there is water and air. And the horizon that you can see, it's almost as though they're separate entities. They are separate energies, but there is no separation between them. There's no separation. One seamlessly goes into the next. And the ripples, those ripples of frequency, of ritual, are very present here beneath this cup overflowing from the multitude of cups, from the Three of Cups, pouring the abundance, and your cup is literally overflowing when this kind of intentional participation with our individual cosmos is embraced. It's truly beautiful. So this Three of Cups is a card of celebration and laughter and fun and happiness and marriage. And it even says in here, longed for pregnancies and a birth or an attendance of a christening. This speaks to me of the summer solstice, Abbey. This speaks to me of all the planetary alignments happening simultaneously at once so that it can all come together and fulfill kind of a common destiny that we are meant for and we always were. And it happens every year, one time a year, which makes it special, but it doesn't make it inaccessible because it is there for all of us to behold. And it represents fruitfulness, it represents life, it represents an endless amount of regrowth and regeneration. If this oracle wisdom has resonated with you with respect to the way in which I have converged my own auric field with that of another, and you are interested in exploring the same experience, I hope that you will join me on Patreon, or you will visit my website so that we can embark on a journey together. This is Jenna Pinkstone, the Southern Oracle, and both of those links can be found in the description of this video below. With infinite love and gratitude, I am signing off with you now. And I hope that you will like this video and subscribe to my channel for future offerings.